It was only a couple days ago when we got the new Sacred Beast structure deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, and yet yesterday we had a new Sacred Beast support card announced for the upcoming set, Phantom Rage. So this card will not come out in the TCG for a little while. That is 2 core sets away, but I still wanted to talk about it in today's video. It kind of reminds me of what happened with the Winged Dragon of Ra support, if you guys remember that. Basically, I spent multiple videos talking about the Winged Dragon of Ra support, and then right after it all got completed, we had the new Dark Spell Regeneration announcement, which was pretty surprising. So in a similar way here, we have all the Sacred Beast support in the TCG, and now pretty much out of nowhere we get a new Sacred Beast fusion monster, which will change how the deck is played, especially if you are focusing on the fusion monster support. Anyway, this card is called Armityle the Chaos Phantasm Phantom of Fury. I believe that is the name of Armityle's attack in the anime, very similar to how Hyper Blaze is Uriah's attack in the anime, and like how Raviel and Haman also have new support cards based on their attack names. This is a level 12 Dark Fiend monster with 0 attack and 0 defense, and its fusion summoning materials are Uriah, Haman, and Raviel, so the exact same as Armityle. This thing says this card's name becomes Armityle the Chaos Phantasm while on the field. Once per turn, you can give control of this card to your opponent. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card's control changed this turn, banish all cards you control. Then this card's owner can special summon one Armityle the Chaos Phantasm from their extra deck, ignoring these summoning conditions. So this card might be a little bit confusing. If I've learned anything from cards like Santa Claus and Silent Wabi, I know that players can sometimes get a little bit mixed up when reading effects like this. Basically, when you summon this card, you're going to want to give control of it to your opponent, and then in the end phase, your opponent's field is banished, and then you summon the Armityle the Chaos Phantasm. So that's a pretty cool piece of removal, and while it's not invincible, you do get some protection from cards like Fallen Paradise. Luckily, this card is treated as the regular Armityle while on the field, so with Fallen Paradise, it prevents it from being targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. I would even go as far as to say that you probably should not summon this thing unless you already have a Fallen Paradise on the field. I think that protection effect is really important with this card, because otherwise it loses to a bunch of commonly played cards like Effect Veiler or Infinite Impermanence and stuff along those lines. Just in case you forgot what it does, the way that you'll want to summon this card is with Dimension Fusion Destruction. This is a new normal spell card out of a Sacred Beast structure deck that's really good not only right now, but also when this new fusion monster is released. Banish from your hand, field, and or graveyard the fusion materials that are listed on a Phantasm fusion monster, then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring these summoning conditions. You take no battle damage from attacks involving the monsters special summoned by this effect. If you control Uriah, Haman, or Raviel, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Now right now, you're only pretty much using this card to summon Armityle. There is one other card that you could summon, but it's not very good, and Armityle is pretty good in a lot of situations. It'll even go up to 10,000 attack points, which in a lot of cases actually will be able to OTK your opponent. But summoning Armityle wasn't always perfect, because sometimes your opponent has a big field with a bunch of big monsters where you might not be able to OTK them so easily. In those situations where your opponent has a big board and you really can't OTK with the regular Armityle, this new Phantom of Fury fusion monster is really powerful. No, you won't be OTKing your opponent with the Phantom of Fury, but it will get rid of your opponent's entire field, and then you'll have an Armityle on yours. Keep in mind though that the Armityle will only have 0 attack on your opponent's turn, but it can't be destroyed by battle, and if you have Fallen Paradise, it also can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Now that you have an Armityle on your side of the field and you banished your opponent's entire board, maybe on your next turn you can get that OTK. Anyway though, that was the only new Sacred Beast support card revealed for Phantom Rage, so that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.